Water, weed, yoga, sex is an acronym that I live and die by. It is literally all about finding pleasure and abundance in your life. And I want to help you find that pleasure and abundance in your life because it is there. It is right there. And sure, there's shit on top of it. And there's people shitting on you and people making it like where you can't feel your goodness, but you have shine, you have life, you are here on purpose. You are not an accident. You were made this way on purpose. And that is what water, weed, yoga, sex is about. It is about tapping into that eternal energy that is pulling you forward and that is making you possible. And that is why you are here. Hey, what's up, y'all? So I need to tell you, because I feel like I can talk to you about this. If you have practiced yoga with me here on YouTube or on the Underbelly, my yoga app, you might see me wearing one of these cute little bracelets that looks like a throwback to a WWJD bracelet. It is a throwback to a WWJD bracelet, but it don't have anything to do with Jesus. It means what this bracelet says is water, weed, yoga, sex. WWYS. And this for me is like a life motto. It is a way of being. It is a way to step forth in this life. And so in this video, I'm going to break down what WWYS, water, weed, yoga, sex means. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. Let's get into this shit. Let's just hop into it. Why water? Human beings, I don't know if you know this, human beings are made of like 70% water. Like our bodies are primarily water. So it's really important to be constantly hydrating. I think it's also really common to not drink that much water. And honestly, most of the time, whenever I'm in a bad mood, if I'm pissed, if I am hungry, usually I'm actually just thirsty. And so a reminder to drink water, that is a lot of what this bracelet is. It's like, oh, have I had my water today? Like anytime that I'm in a mood, I'm like, you need to drink some water. Like just, you need to drink some water. And it's not just drinking water. It's like literally you need to be submerged in water. I really like to take baths, showers, anything where I can just get into some water. It's not even sometimes about getting into water. Like it might be like, yes, you go to the beach, you go get in the pool, whatever. But it could be looking at the rain. It could be standing in the rain. It could be standing in a puddle. It could be watching a stream, watching the water flow by in a stream. Like there's so many different ways to engage with water. But water is the life force that runs within all of us. It connects us all to one another. And water is not just about what we drink and what we can sit in and what we can look at. It's about the breath as well. One of the forms that it takes when it is oxygenated is breath. And so when we are inhaling and exhaling, that is also us getting in water. And breathing is the most important thing that human beings do. And ultimately, like, it's the thing that connects us to one another, because if you're breathing, you're still alive, you're still in the game, you still got this, you're still winning at life. If you are still breathing, you are still winning at life. When we talk about water, it's in the context of breath work and meditation. I think meditation gets a bad rap. Like meditation seems way more complicated than it actually is. Literally, meditation is just shut the fuck up and sit still and just be quiet. Just be quiet. Just be quiet. Actually, you don't even have to be quiet to meditate. Talking is also a form of meditation. My brain, I'm still thinking thoughts while I'm meditating. Does that mean that I'm meditating wrong? No. Because what ends up happening when you're meditating is that you can't think about anything forever. And the thought just passes out of your mind. When you actually give it the space and the time, a lot of the time what makes a thought stick in your brain is trying not to think about it. You're like, oh my God, I shouldn't be thinking about this. I shouldn't be thinking about this. And then that's all you do is just think about it. So when you are giving yourself the space to just like be human, have a thought and release it, that's what meditation is. To that point, I'm gonna take my handy dandy Underbelly water bottle, which you can get down below in the shop. Let's just do a water check. If you have a water bottle, if you don't, get you a glass of water, get whatever you need. Great handle, great colors. To life, to freedom, to hydration. Refill your water, hydrate yourself. Don't be ashy on your spirit. That's what it is, man. More often than not, when people are in a bad mood, they have an ashy spirit. You need to hydrate your spirit. That's what we're talking about with water. The next letter in the acronym is another W, and it's for weed. So we're saying water and then weed. And weed is there are 2 letters in the acronym that are very controversial and that I end up having to explain a lot, and weed is the first one. And it's because everybody has different opinions about weed. Some people like weed, some people don't like weed. I'm not gonna fight with you about cannabis. I think cannabis is amazing. And cannabis can change the world. I think that if everybody found a way to consume cannabis, we would live in a better world, frankly, just straight up and down. But I don't think that smoking cannabis is for everybody. I don't think smoking anything is really good for you at all. I do it, but that's my business. I don't think that everyone should smoke things though, because it's not good for your lungs. But there are so many different ways to ingest cannabis, and cannabis sativa, the plant, it is an herb that has been used for thousands of years by human beings. And the only reason that we have any negative feelings about it are because of a very masterfully created propaganda campaign that has been in place for like about a century. I'm not here to fight with you about this. If you don't like weed, I feel you. The reason that weed is in the Water, Weed, Yoga, Sex acronym is not even about cannabis specifically. It's just about finding the medicine that works for you. Everybody has medicines that they need to be able to maintain their mental health and well-being. And for me, cannabis, weed has been a really big part of how I'm able to maintain myself. One of my favorite ways to smoke weed, in the bathtub or in the hot tub or whenever the fuck, rolling in a river, floating in a river. Ooh, if you are watching this video, drop in the comments your favorite way to get high, your favorite place to smoke weed, because vibes, and give it to the water. Medicate, give it to the water. It will relax you, calm you down, and also make it a lot easier to think more broadly and not so narrowly. So the 3rd letter in the acronym is Y, and it is for yoga. And it's not just talking about yoga postures or yoga flows or like going to a yoga class or anything like that. Those things are great, but also are not for everybody. And there is a form of yoga that will work for you, and it might not be going to a yoga class. Yoga is low-key everything. I should do a whole other video about like what yoga is and what yoga isn't. But spoiler alert, yoga, everything is yoga. As long as it is uniting your breath with your body, that is yoga. Because yoga means union. It means to unite. It means to bring together, to join together. My ratchet millennial definition of yoga is yoke. That's how I translate it. And so when you are yoking, you're bringing together 2 things that don't necessarily seem like they go together or make sense. In the eternal mashup of yoking is the physical body with breath. So when you are doing that, regardless of how you choose to do it, you're practicing yoga. There's a different way to practice yoga for every moment of this life, for every person. Having some kind of ritual or practice that you can return to that makes you feel whole, that reminds you of who you are, it's how you can balance yourself whenever shit seems crazy. And life is crazy, and it just is. And I think that we get this idea that life is supposed to be like calm and chill and nothing bad is ever going to happen. Spoiler alert, bad things are going to happen over, and if you're alive, that's part of being alive, is that bad things just happen. Having a yoga practice, whatever that is, whatever that looks like, it could be running, it could be CrossFit, it could be swimming, it could be going for a walk after work, it could be literally anything. So the last letter in the acronym is sex. And this is the other one that is very controversial, and here's the deal. Everybody has their relationship to sex. And depending on what has happened in your life, like what your trauma history is or just what is going on for you, you might not want to have sex. That is not what this is about. We're not talking about having sex with other people. Having sex with other people is frankly overrated, in my personal opinion. I think having sex with yourself, very awesome. Having sex with other people, it's whatever. That's great. We're talking about sex because we're talking about the divine erotic energy that is running throughout you. All human beings are born of erotic energy. That is how we get here. We're all born of sex. And so having a relationship to that, even if the relationship is that you don't like it, that's really important information. Just to know that and to be able to tap into that and to be able to connect to who you really are, that's what we're talking about when we talk about water, weed, yoga, sex, is knowing who you are, how you got here, why you're here, and where the seat of your power is. If you read Sister Outsider by Audre Lorde, which I would highly recommend, in it, she talks about this, the divine erotic energy that runs within all of us, within each of us, and really that Black women in particular are very aware of, and that we know that it's the seat of our power. Whether you are a Black woman or not, you do also have this divine erotic energy inside you. And we live in a society where sex is repressed and talking about sex is repressed. And what that has created is a society that is ruled by war, because people are still trying to get that divine erotic energy out, and they're just looking for any way possible to do it. But all of the war that's happening in our world is a result of not connecting to our divine erotic energy. When we are able to just tap into that and make space for it and notice the power that comes from it, we are not drawn to violence in the same way. And this is why matriarchal societies are different than patriarchal societies. When you connect to yourself intimately, that is the gift that you give to everybody else. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Connecting with yourself intimately is so important. Tailor it whatever way works for you. Thanks for watching this video, and you can get one of these Waterweed Yoga Sex bracelets. I will put a link down in the description box, and I will also link it here in the YouTube shop so that you can get one for yourself. It's a great reminder to live your best life and do your thing and be yourself, because you are a bad bitch and you were made this way on purpose, and you are not an accident. You are a purposeful being, and I love you, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, practice yoga with me on the underbelly. My name is Jessamyn Stanley. I'll see you next time.